So hopefully this stream is back. If you can hear this, and if you can hear this, be sure to let others know that they can refresh the stream and they should be able to see it too. And I'm getting myself set up again. So I took a quick look. Apparently there are 12 sequences in this game. If that's true and we are now on sequence 6, I'm not that impressed by the story. So like, here's the thing that I'm thinking about. Like, we are sort of solving the murder of this Templar leader, which is fair enough. But sort of these intermediate steps haven't been all that impressive. It's just like we've assassinated a couple of people and I don't feel like we've made a lot of progress in terms of understanding the motivations and such. So if this is the halfway point, it's kind of like, you know, I don't know. I'm not sure how to feel about that. And I have a feeling that that's going to be a bit more of a long-standing issue because I think even Ubisoft believes that the story behind this was not what it needed to be. That there was a little more effort put into some technological achievements. But we'll do our best.
Il est impressionnant.
Get back here!
Well, I thought resetting would fix everything. It actually still tells me that I don't have anybody watching the stream right now. That's fine. I think I'm gonna grab a couple more chests and we'll move on to the rest of the story. Oh yeah, I definitely see the chat activity. Oh, this is a little tougher than I can handle, but let's see if I can make it happen. Oof, that's a hard target. I don't think I'm going to be able to make it. Yeah, that's not worth it. Sorry for killing you for nothing, dude. Okay, let's see if we can unlock any of these things on our way to the next sequence. I like to imagine that that song is being sung at like all points in France. Okay, can I do a quick roll call? Joe Johnny, are you still here? I've got Captain Zerge. I've got Eyes of Sin. Especially if you were here at the beginning. If you're still here now, could you just quickly speak up in chat? Well, gee, it's another level 3. My bad. Alright, well, Captain Zerge, what kind of games do you like to play? I wasn't expecting to do that, but that works for me. You don't need to grab. It's not absolutely not a concern, Eyes of Sin. I actually don't know how well I'm casting tonight, to be totally honest. I feel like I'm phoning it in. So in terms of, I'll talk, because I've been trying to sort of defend the game from unjustified criticism. I'll talk about, and I've sort of talked about these things before, but I'll try and summarize the things that don't quite work for me for this. I appreciate in a game like this, it's very hard to make the animations sync up, but like that kind of stuff. I think the problem is because the game looks so good otherwise, it really I think it's really noticeable when it doesn't work, like when it doesn't sync up. But a little bit more important than that, as I've explained before, I think the biggest defect for this game, in my opinion, is the controls. Like, a big thing for me in the other Assassin's Creed games is I've liked that generally, even if I don't know quite what I'm doing, I like the fact that I'm able to mostly RPGs, RTS, turn-based strategy, some action-y games. Okay. Just bear with me a minute here. Rambler146, thank you very much for that host. And the Eyes of Sin, thank you very much for the host as well. Do you like classic games, Captain Zerge? Because I got something it's a little off the beaten track, but I think it might be... It might just work. Okay. So, yeah, I think It's not a perfect mapping. Check your private messages, Captain Zergi, and if you, I think you've said you've already got a GOG account, but if you don't, if you can use my link to open one up, I'd appreciate it, but you don't have to do that. That was sadly the best fit that I could get, but I think it might be, I think it might actually be something you enjoy. I'm not just giving it to get rid of it. I'm giving it because I thought that was the best fit out of what I had available. I should also do some shoutouts before the end of this, but let's get back into the swing of things. Oh my God, there's a lot of you. Do let me know if you what you think of that, by the way.
Are you openly defying an officer of the law?
Nope, nope. There we go. So yeah, let me say hello to everybody from Alex the Rambler and Eyes of Sin's channel. For those of you who don't know the Rambler, he is a very talented... Oh my God. Very talented strategy streamer, so if you guys like Europa Universalis, if you like Hearts of Iron 4, if you like Stellaris, he's not just somebody who streams that on a regular basis, he's somebody who has been flown out to different locations to take part in Paradox's special events. So Alex is definitely a very talented caster. He's somebody with over 200,000 follows on YouTube, and one of the few people I know who can make a living doing this. And I would definitely not trade places with him because I cannot imagine how somebody actually makes a living off of YouTube. But he does it with aplomb. On top of that, actually, what was really interesting is I did not know him as a caster, and when I did know him as a caster, I didn't know him as a Paradox caster. I knew him more as a Total War kind of guy. I met him at a local bar. Well, it was local to me at the time. Now I live in across the country. But I met him at a place in Vancouver called EXP, whichever you visit, if ever you visit EXP. If you ever visit Vancouver, I strongly recommend that you check out EXP. He was just an incredibly friendly guy. We got talking a little bit. I found out after sort of chatting with him that he was a broadcaster. And he was, we just kind of kept in touch, and I have continued to enjoy his content ever since. So, especially because some of you know me more through YouTube and such, he's definitely somebody who I can give a recommendation for in terms of his YouTube content, although his streams are great. And I think one of the things that's really nice is that Alex, because he does this for a living, can, obviously he will gain a lot more out of giving somebody more established a host. Yeah, I took a little bit of a flyer with it, Captain Zergi, but it seemed to be the best fit. I was slightly worried for some of these that I wouldn't be able to find something that worked out. And it's always, there's always a bit of a chance whenever you give a classic thing. By the way, feel free if you want to let people know what you got. I will gladly, it doesn't need to be secret. I just wanted to make sure that you got it rather than somebody lurking in chat. So for those of you who don't know, I am giving occasionally, just at random intervals, giving away games to names. So stick around, make sure that you're known, and I will do my best to make sure that as many people walk away with something as I can manage tonight.
S'il continue.
What was I saying before? Oh yeah, Alex. But yeah, I don't know, there's a lot of reasons to really like Alex's stuff, and I think one of the things that keeps coming up for me is the person that I know tends to be reflected on the cast. That's not always true. That doesn't work in reverse, definitely. There are people who are very nice on cast who are not nice in person. But I can definitely say that Alex is one of those people who is as nice in person as he is.
Something wrong, monsieur?
These numbers don't add up. Someone's stolen nearly a case of wine.
Oh my God.
I shall have to ask Monsieur Collignon about this.
But yeah, I think one of the things that's really telling about Alex is that he will gain a lot more by auto-hosting and hosting more established casters. And it's actually quite important for him to do so and continue to maintain those connections because he derives an income from this. But despite this priority, he is somebody who has never wavered in... in terms of giving me a little bit of attention when it's affordable. And it's interesting because this has happened at a time when some people I know who are at the sort of the lowest priority, let's say, in terms of trying to maintain contacts or something like that, have sort of stopped doing that. And obviously I'd never want to take something like that for granted. That's not really the point, but it's just one of these cases where in some cases it feels like, some old friends are maybe pulling back from that sort of thing. And the more Alex has come to rely on this for an income, the more I'm seeing him in terms of those hosts. And I think that says a lot about his character and particularly how well he treats me. So, also, let me take a minute and shout out the lovely Miss The Eyes of Sin. The Eyes of Sin has a very special place in this cast because she is the one who is responsible for all those nice emotes you keep seeing being used. And on top of that, she is actually paying for the privilege of using her own emotes. Sin is somebody who originally found me through a charity stream that I did with Jessie Quill, and she was an absolute blast to have inside of that broadcast, and she has just been a really wonderful presence inside of the chat. And what was really fun about running into, oh my God, so apparently I wasn't in chat. The last thing that I saw was Captain Zergy saying, oh, and the game is called Crime Cities. So if anybody said anything after that, just heads up, I didn't read it. Not by choice, by circumstance. I wonder if in character customization, if I need to go to a store or if I can just... Yes, I can. Okay. Bit expensive. I can upgrade it apparently, but do I want to? Yeah, these are all a bit rich for me. I think this is the fanciest of my options. Okay, well, The Eyes of Sin, in addition to being noteworthy for her artistic ability and the just sheer generosity that she has given both with her time and her artistic ability, is somebody who I've gotten to know a little bit better off of cast, and again is just somebody who has been an absolute delight, somebody who I don't know, somebody who I really feel Sorry, I'm trying to make decisions. Go for the phantom coat. Again, it's one thing, I guess it's one thing, you know, to be nice. I mean, I'm always going to have nice things to say about people who have been nice to me. But what I think really sort of struck me about the Eyes of Sin was just the... Like, whenever I talk with her, I really feel like I'm being listened to, or... I don't really quite know the right way to put this. It feels very nice to talk with her, and it's, you know, someone who it's a little hard to explain, but basically to have someone who is so engaged in terms of, you know, what I'm talking about. And someone who is such a delight to talk to in her own right. It's really nice to be able to have an exchange like that. Because again, Eyes of Sin, and if you watch her stream, you'll get this. Like, she's got, she likes a few games that I've really enjoyed in the past, like Super Brothers Sword and Sorcery. And she has got a very, I don't know, very active life. She's definitely had a lot of stuff happen to her through her lifetime, and it's given her this really interesting perspective, which is always fun to hear. And so it's one thing to... Oh, that's really cool. Thank you for letting me know that, Captain Zerge, because I kind of wanted to try For Honor, but I didn't really feel like it was quite the... Excuse me. I mean, I'm curious to try one of these things out, but it's definitely a cool looking outfit. Excuse me. Anyway, sorry, I'm doing a pretty rotten job of this this shout out for the Eyes of Sin, but I think one of the things that I like is that she is a lot of fun to talk with, and she's somebody who has a really interesting perspective. And so, while she has extremely complimentary things to say, she's very complimentary things to say to me in conversation. I always look forward to hearing. I always look forward to what she has to say specifically to whatever I've shared, just because again her history gives her perspective that makes it really worth talking to, and all of that is on display on her own cast, even if she doesn't play very as often. She's definitely worth following to check out. So I apologize for stumbling a little bit on those shout outs, but two very worthy people of watching. And if Johnny's in shows, I know he's doing some arts and crafts, so he might be lurking, but I'll make sure to give him a proper shout out. I'll be sure to do it by the end of the cast, but if he's here, I'll embarrass him with the nice words.
400 armed noblemen, Honoré? If it weren't for General Lafayette...
Enough! The room is fogged with your bluster! All hot air and no action! Here's a man with good news, I think. Arno, what did you learn from the silversmith?
Poison. You're catching up.
Germain made that pin, and others like it, for a man named Lafreniere.
Sure.
Certain.
Grandmaster de la Serre spoke highly of his loyalty. Very well. I suppose the course is clear, Arnaud. Find Monsieur Lafreniere.
I have done so already, monsieur. He is no threat.
What are you saying, Pisspot?
I had a lead on Lafreniere. I followed it, and I killed him.
What the hell were you thinking?
How dare you defy the
The next time you circumvent the council, I'll ring you a new arsehole!
While this council admires your zeal, it is not your place to choose your own targets. You should have reported your findings to us.
Forgive me, Mentor. I believed I had found the man who ordered Monsieur de la Serre's murder. When I discovered further evidence that suggested he was about to strike at the Brotherhood in force, I took action.
Believed? Suggested?
I am no longer certain of Lafreniere's motivations. In his memories, I saw him writing the letter that would have warned Monsieur de la Serre of his betrayal. When he spoke of his impending attack, he mentioned a club in the Marais, not one of our safe houses.
What do you make of this?
I cannot say. I would like to investigate further.
I don't like this. The boy is a gifted assassin, but I fear he's obsessed with a private vendetta. Let another follow this lead.
We don't have time. Whatever Lafreniere was planning, it happens tonight.
He did ask permission this time, Guillaume. Go then. See what you can learn. But no more rash action.
Yes, Mentor.
So this is really interesting. So it seems like if this is supposed to take place in like the one night, like, you know, find out what's going on, we may not actually see the rest of the French Revolution.
What cheer, my friend?
And this is an okay looking outfit, but from the cutscene, I don't know, could be better. I'll take the opportunity to do the wait, unless no, the green has to be the target. Okay, Arnaud, you can go ahead and swim that. Get it out of your system. I like having you in chat, Sim. Yeah, so this will be really interesting if they... So, like... I seem to remember some of the art for this showing a guillotine, which would make me think that they would include... Like, that they would actually include stuff like the Reign of Terror. Hôtel de Sens, located on the bank of the River Seine, the Hôtel de Sens, along with the Hôtel de Cluny, are the last vestige of medieval architecture in Paris, 1475. The hotel was built for the Archbishop of Sens, a character who overshadowed even the Archbishop of Paris. And currently houses the Forney Art Library, thus conferring an altogether literary sheen on what is otherwise a military work of architecture. A cannonball remains lodged in the walls near the left turret as a sober reminder of the riots of 1830. On a lighter note, the insatiable Queen Margot saw her young lover's throat slit by a jealous suitor in front of its beautiful Gothic gate. A wonderful magical image I'm sure will come back to you this and every Valentine's Day.
Encore un disciple de Cagliostro.
Very pretty buildings. Oh, forgot. Remember what I was saying about controls? Yeah, well, this is the anti-Breath of the Wild, where it'll let you it'll let you climb up things twice to see them. All right. By the way, so the way I'm planning on doing this game, I will definitely do the main story missions on cast, but I think the way I'm going to be handling it, to make sure that I kind of see more. So like one of the problems I had with Assassin's Creed 3 personally was that I rushed through this so quickly to be able to do Assassin's Creed Unity in time for Bastille Day, that I really didn't do any of the side missions.
This is the place. What was Lafrenière so interested in?
Get him upstairs, quickly.
I wonder if Elise is the one who's secretly been organizing.
Latouche, old friend. You do get about, don't you?
Are you kidding me?
Now I've got ya. I'll catch ya, then I'll cut ya.
find a sniper to drive berserk. Do they really just not let me leap between the two buildings like in every other... You can do it, Arno. I believe in you. I love the voice acting for the guy who's gone berserk.
You must go in. In. Hurry.
Hey, Cyberdog. Oh, and sorry, I missed it. So, Isaacson says, Breath of the Wild, you have a stamina bar and sometimes have to shove the innards of slain creatures with insects you've scraped off the bottom of rocks into a big cooking pot, and then bottle the goop that you make to drink later when you get tired or about to be hit with lightning, want to get sneaky, or be real fast. You gonna make me buy a Switch, Sid? Okay, let's see if we can find another sniper to... Whew, that's a hard target. And the fact it's not turning red makes me think I gotta get closer. Oh, apparently that wasn't a sniper. Well... Wrong guy. Oh, they probably have little targets on them. So I bet this guy just before... Yep. Okay, well, I'll know for next time.
Tiberius to praise Brutus. Caligula condemned to death those who were so sacrilegious as to undress before the image.
The Jacobean Club, the Society of the Friends of the Constitution, or Jacobean Club, deriving its name from the convent where its members gathered, was one of the most powerful political clubs in France for much of the Revolution. With over 7,000 chapters at its height, its membership was estimated at nearly 500,000. The club was initially a gathering place for Breton deputies, but quickly expanded to allow anyone, even civilians and foreign nationals, to join. Sounds pretty exclusive. Despite its later reputation for extremism, the Jacobean Club supported, at least nominally, the monarchy right up to the eve of the Republic. The club became radicalized in June of 1791 when many of its more moderate deputies left to form a new club, the Feuillants. The first thing I look for in any club is the ability to pronounce it. Feuillants equals fail, or that should be fuil. After the fall of the monarchy, Robespierre rose to prominence within the club, and with his backing, the seat and that of the Parisian mob, the Jacobians effectively seized control of the government. They so often make such a convincing arguments, the mob, I find. The Jacobians instituted a reign of terror, repeatedly purging the National Convention and the population at large of anyone deemed to be an enemy of the Republic. The Jacobians held sway for nearly a year before Robespierre overplayed his hand and himself was arrested and executed for treason, deprived of its leadership. Actually, I'm also curious if it's Jacobin or Jacobian. Club was closed and outlawed in November 1974.
Once tyranny invented the crime of injured majesty, which were actions either indifferent or heroic. Who could have dared to think that it merited a punishment more gentle than death without rendering himself guilty of the same crime?
How much longer must we wait? I do have other business to tend to.
The monstrous humor between Grandmaster was the political despotism invented.
I trust we'll finally learn behind our research activities.
All will be made clear.
I don't like it. The plan is still too vulnerable. And let's not forget Lafreniere is still out there somewhere, waiting to burn us all at the stake.
And bring him down to their
But what?
level. The monsters who said
hours ago, in fact. Assassins.
That seems convenient.
That's the thing about assassins. Fight them at a Templar conspiracy. They ask no questions. Go right for the kill. Predictable.
It'd be interesting to see if the Marquis de Sade is a tool of the Templars.
Fetch the captain and get started.
Alas, before death, how much physical and moral pain can man endure? The desire to live cedes before pride, the most imperious of all the passions that master the heart of man.
Molière manquait parfois de discernement, mais sa plume et son esprit sont sans égal. Ça fait des heures qu'on attend nous ici. Hé, inutile de pousser là derrière. Ça ira pas plus vite. C'est de pire en pire chaque jour.
Not hearing things.
Ah! I thought it was a little weird. I could just follow him up the stairs.
I need an answer, friend.
Oh, crap.
How late you think they'll go tonight?
Lord knows.
Come on.
Get these politicians talking and they never shut up.
Well, I guess I'd better put some coffee on then.
Never mind. I was only joking.
This is my patriotic duty.
I kind of blew that no matter what. I suppose I could stealth kill them, but I'll maybe just hang out outside this time.
No need to make it any harder.
Octavian, how are you doing? Although I suspect that that's probably a hello friend to the lovely Eyes of Sin. Not that I don't consider you a friend. Only that I know that your ties with sin are much closer than mine.
I need an answer, friend. Tick tock, mate.
How late you think they'll go tonight?
Lord knows. Get these politicians talking and they never shut up.
Well, I guess I'd better put some coffee on then.
You finished?
Near enough. Now here's the thing. I could go on like this all day. But you got an hour left in you? 2 at the most. Half if I bring out the sharp bits. So why not skip the end game and go directly to mate? Tell me where it is, and all this can be over. What was that? You're a smart man.
Roy, clean up your mess. It's time.
Be right there. You heard the weasel, boys?
Did you really throw him out the window?
Trash belongs in the gutter.
Sloppy. Someone might have seen.
My boys are watching the whole place. They'll deal with any good Samaritans.
They bet. Grandmaster won't be happy if the whole plan comes unraveled because of one dead peon.
Oops. Okay, apparently I don't need to be stealthy anymore. I'm gonna miss Latouche. Like, all right. So as you might see, we are in the presence of a partnered caster right around the time that I start sucking at the game. Well, sucking more than I normally do. But Octavian, I have not seen your cast recently, so... Oh, god damn it! Would you mind saying what you've been playing most recently? Because I feel like I would give a really disingenuous shout out for your cast if I were to try.
The great work requires patience, my friend. If Paris must suffer a while longer so the world might be remade, then so be it.
Why not just kill him and be done with it? One of my boys, a knife, a dark hallway. Easy peasy.
We want a condemned man, Captain, not a martyr. Have patience.
Respectfully, Grandmaster, patience is well and fine. But the longer we wait, the greater the chance of discovery.
Well, the assassins already found Siver and Wadetun.
Oh, Siver and Leroy already served their purpose. Their destruction, while inconvenient, is no obstacle. And the assassins have already proved useful when properly led.
What about the Delasser brat? She could be dangerous if she manages to rally the old guard.
That situation will be resolved.
How so?
Mademoiselle de la Serre will soon be on her way to l'Hôtel Voisin, eager to speak with Monsieur Lafreniere. Sadly, Monsieur Lafreniere has nothing left to say.
Please.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that was a special thing that you were doing for the cast or not.
Respectfully, you won't always be so lucky.
Quite right. I shall leave the execution of our work to you good ladies and gentlemen. For my part, I shall retire to the sanctuary and await the final phase. Will that satisfy you, Captain?
I'll see the water.
The spy's still here! Catch him!
No spies escaping on my watch.
I'm pretty good at this whole assassin thing.
Together.
Never mind. Octavian, thank you very much for that follow. I'm actually playing off of my OBS screen right now because I had to turn on VSync, which messes with the quality. But I appreciate that.
The spy's still here!
Damn it! And Sin, I believe you do have the shoutout command available, so if you would like to shout out Oct either to people who are interested in seeing new and friendly casts, or alternatively people who can't get enough Path of Exile, definitely, I mean, one, an endorsement from Eyes of Sin is already pretty spectacular. But number two, I have actually seen the cast. Eyes of Sin, I was gonna say, brought me along, but it was a pleasure to get a chance to see. Sorry, I am trying not to blow it yet again. All right, there we go. I think I'm gonna do one more of these, and I think I'm gonna have to call it. I know it's a little early to say I'm at the end of the night, but I am definitely not feeling 100%. So he's essentially an expert at the game, clever gent, longtime friend. Give him a look-see. Couldn't have said it better myself. Holy crap. Okay. Sorry, I really don't like highlighting the technical flaws inside the game, but they are really noticeable when they come up. So I'm actually a little curious. I believe the Assassin's Creed games that I own that I have not played, either on cast or on my own, are Assassin's Creed Syndicate, Assassin's Creed Rogue, and I think I actually have a copy of Black Flag now that I think of it. So, are there any opinions? Is that a cat? Cute. Are there any opinions as to any Assassin's Creed games, or if you'd like to see the series in the first place, are there any of those games that are of interest? Yeah, so the one thing I will say for it, Octavian, is the hate that this game has, I think, is overrated. Now, I, of course, have the benefit of playing this after the game has been patched. But two things that have really kept me from fully appreciating the game. I really don't feel like the controls are as responsive, and one of the things I've always enjoyed about Assassin's Creed is that you tend to require very little effort to make your character do really cool things. And I'm sure everyone can sort of share exactly how how irritated I've become with trying to accomplish so it's the only Assassin's Creed game where I feel like I've said, I want to do X, and game somewhat regularly does Y. And, you know, this might just be the fact that I'm not playing on a controller, or it could be that I am too familiar with a different set of controls, let's say. But it's something that's kind of been a bit of an impediment to enjoying the game as much as I could. And then for technical issues, I don't think there is as many as I was sort of led to believe. Ooh, I wonder. Leave him alone.
Quelle attention de votre part. Merci. Merci. Quelle attention.
But yeah, I think so. I think the game has improved quite a bit since its original release. But little things like when the animations don't sync up and like you wind up cutting the throat of Air, and then the guy like follows through. It's yeah, I couldn't get through Dark Souls with a keyboard and mouse either, Captain Zerge. But those are the things that become really noticeable, which is a shame because I think it's really the best looking Assassin's Creed game. And the French Revolution is such an interesting period of time. One of the reasons why we did this particular one was on July 4th of last year, I did Assassin's Creed 3 for the American Revolution. But of course, if I'm going to celebrate revolutions, Bastille Day is 10 days later. So I did start Assassin's Creed Unity, and then I had a big hiatus. I'm kind of back on it now. But all that said, like the French Revolution is such a fascinating time, but I feel like they haven't quite fully taken advantage of some of the themes that can emerge from the... I mean, the thing to keep in mind about the French Revolution, like Charles Dickens, you know, whatever you think of A Tale of Two Cities, like I quite like the book. But there's like, this has been the subject of some really good literature and some really impressive scholarship. It's hard to overstate the importance of the French Revolution. And I think the technology So again, it's a beautiful game. And the technology has allowed for things that make the Unity, or in this particular setting of the French Revolution, really impressive. So like to be able to see crowds the size of this, like that had never really been in an Assassin's Creed game before. So that's really impressive. But if you don't have... So like the thing is that crowds become really impressive. They become a good backdrop. But the thing is that if you don't have that core there in the form of like a really solid story or, you know, just a set of sort of features that really, you know, really sell you on the game, then that effort is really, it almost goes to waste. Like it's not that I don't appreciate it. It's just that, you know, it's a little hard to say this is my favorite. And we're about the halfway mark, it seems. So anyways, Elise is about to walk into a Templar ambush. Find her and warn her of their treachery. Yeah, well, it's just, I think the biggest thing is that I'm not that invested in the mystery right now. As beautiful as Elise is, like...
Damn it. Where was it? L'Hôtel Voisin? Merde.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, you know, it's not like there have not been good stories told in this time period. Boulevard de Théâtre. Thanks to Jean-Baptiste Nicolette and his royally approved theatre, dubbed Spectacle des Grands Danseurs et Sauteurs du Roi, the Boulevard du Temple in the north of Paris developed what could be called a continuous fair. The theatre brought all types of entertainment, along with cafes, caterers, and wine merchants. In addition to shows inside the venue, actors were hired to play out small scenarios called parades on a balcony in front of a theatre in order to attract spectators. The construction of several theatres towards the end of the 18th century, no less than 16 new theatres built between 1774 and 1789, prompted the establishment of entertainment networks that became ongoing fairs. The revolution merely expedited this desire to free the theatre from the oppression of the Ancien Regime and prevented the public from expressing itself. At the National Convention, Robespierre commended the educational side of the theatrical arts, and so on January 13th, 1971, the National Assembly abolished royal privileges, unshackled the theatre, and acknowledged as human rights authors' royalties, which had been written off on the 4th of August, 1789, along with other privileges. I don't know, I just think Elise has a really beautiful model.
Later.
Ow. Damn it!
What's going on? Where is Monsieur Lafrenière?
He's dead.
What?
Go. I'll explain later.
No way past this one.
Shall we?
I do like the replies, like if you're able to get the parries, they look great. Oh Jesus! What? How did he live? What is he blocking me with?
What's wrong?
I'm not sure how to get out again.
I'll climb up and take a look.
Just admit it. You're lost.
I mean, I'm assuming that's where I'm supposed to go out. Alright, you know what?
Where to?
Ah, it's a level 3 lock. Octavian, if you're here, I have 2 questions for you. But I'll just get a quick registration of your presence, sir.
Where do we go?
I'm working on it, lady. Alright, first of all, do you have an account with GOG.com? It's not the end of the world if you don't, but I wanted to get the preliminaries out of the way.
Where do we go?
Where are they?
Not at the moment. Okay, cool. Second question. The first will be easy to deal with. Second question. Have you played the game Soma?
How do we get out of here?
Find them! Bloody counter-revolutionary!
No, sir. All right. So, it will help me. You do not need to do so. You can make an account using that link. Oh, you know what? I think I screwed it up. That link will not work. You may ask the question, why bother following such a link? I will answer that in a quick second, but I think I've screwed up my bot command. Yep. That shouldn't have the GOG at the end. So I'm going to take the minute to solve this. Sorry, this is like the least elegant way of doing this. It works, but it doesn't give me credit.
I would never want to
SMG Dog, thank you very much for that.
Someone like me for a memory.
I am screwing up my my cast rate now, but I am trying to work through a few of the particulars. So, with that taken care of, Avia99, thank you very much for that. I don't know. I just have my affiliate with them, Woban. Anyways, Octavian, I know you. I don't know how you are with your DMs, but there should be a DM for you to give you something to amuse you. I guess I'm supposed to defend her. If you don't see the DMs, let me know, and I can probably get Sim to act as a courier. Anyways, and for those of you who are wondering what the devil all of this is about, GOG is currently doing a summer sale. There's actually quite a few good things on there. Isa Sin gave a great list of games that she really enjoys from that, but...
2 of them up ahead.
You take that one. I'll handle his friend.
In addition to the fact that I have been distributing a few...
Too many of them to sneak past.
Oh.
Have to work together. Take them out quietly.
I think there was all of them.
We're clear.
So
Coming up there.
in addition to the fact that I've been giving out a few random keys here and there, I've been flogging the GOG link a little bit more often just so... that really counts as an air assassination?
Wait! Snipers.
I see them. Perhaps you can get a better angle from the roof.
Sorry guys, I'm trying to navigate through the game. But yeah, so I've been trying to flog the GOG link every once in a while. If you do use the link, one, if you don't have an account, even if you just sign up, you do get, or I do get a little credit for that. But on top of that, there are a few good sales on. There's a few games which haven't been available on GOG before, which are there now. A few games which haven't gone on sale, which are now on sale, including things like Kingdom Come Deliverance and Into the Breach. But most importantly, you also get free games if you spend certain amounts on that. So if DRM free is a priority for you, or you just want a good deal, that's the reason why I've been sort of flogging the GOG link. But like I said, even if you don't buy anything, if you do sign up for GOG using that link just to take advantage of some of the free games, that's something that gives me a hand. And I think I've got at least one more key. I'll try to give that before the end of the cast. Let me just double check that actually. That'll lock up the game, but... Okay, yeah, I got a classic game I can give away. It's actually a pretty cool one, so... Yeah, it's not the most straightforward one. But again, the key thing, the reason for asking you about the GOG, it's nice if I get the credit.
Go on, I'll distract them. Trust me.
Meet
me tomorrow at Café Théâtre. I'll explain everything.
You're mad. I'll be there.
The main point was to make sure that you could use the link that I gave you, because Soma's a very good game. Damn it. God, what's happening? I think this is a little too strong for me. Jesus. I'm a little busy, sir. Ugh. I know I'm not supposed to win this fight, but okay, you know what? Oh, they can still see me, so... Okay, apparently I'm not allowed in the haystack. Okay, I think that's the last mission I'm gonna do tonight. But let's get the last few items in reach. I know that's gonna be. How far are we? I'm kind of ending. If I were to end right now, I'd be about half an hour early. But what I'll try and do, I'll make this an open one. I'll do this as a proper draw rather than go for individual names. So while I do a shout out for another gentleman who was in here a little bit earlier, if you are interested in getting a game called The Seventh Guest, which was an old Sierra adventure game, a bit of a weird sort of horror-themed one, just mention inside chat. I'd prefer it if you're following the cast, but you don't actually have to for the giveaway. But basically, if anybody mentions that they would like a copy of that game in chat, I will put you all into a random number generator, and I will do my best to I'll do my best to come up with some fair fair distribution of the goods. Again, it's not the end. If you don't have a GOG account, it's not the end of the world if you don't use my link, but it does help me out if you do. Again, one of the reasons I was given some of these keys was to remind you all of the GOG summer sale going on at the moment. So if you are looking for some good deals, and especially the DRM free deals, it will be going on until the 18th. Woven doesn't want it. All right. Owned. All right, what else can I do? I can never remember what the gold ones are, so let's grab ourselves an initiate chest. I mean, I can always save it for another cast. I'll have at least one more cast before the sale is done. But I did want to give people a chance to win something else. Alternatively, if none of you want the seventh guest, that's fine, but you can give each other recommendations on stuff. So I actually really liked that Eyes of Sin shared some of the stuff that she liked from the GOG sale. And one of the big things for that is that when you guys say the titles that you're interested, that is stuff that I'll usually, I don't know if you guys ever click on my wish list, but you'll notice that when people talk about games in chat, I do have a tendency to update my wish list. Is the game The Seventh Guest before the 11th Hour? You've played those. They're very good, but very difficult too. The 11th Hour is the sequel, as Woban just pointed out in chat. I think Elkanu might have actually done one of them now that I think of it. But yeah, so with that in mind, I'm sure there are people inside of chat who find it beneficial as well, but when you guys do mention games that you like, I do have a tendency to sort of add things to my wish list. So if you guys do share some stuff that you see on the GOG summer sale, I do actually appreciate that feedback, just because it's something that lets me honestly, it acts as a better curator. I mean, GOG is getting a little bit better at doing recommendations, but the biggest thing is that I don't think an algorithm is really going to tell me all that much about what kind of games I like. You know, the fact that I like Chaos Reborn does not immediately mean that I'm going to like every turn-based strategy game that comes out. As I've learned, I gave somebody a gift of a Sailor Moon thermal mug, and ever since I gave that gift, Amazon has not stopped recommending Sailor Moon stuff for me to buy. I don't think I'm ever going to escape it now, which is funny in its own way. I think I'll make my way over to the cafe. And that'll be how I Also, so I was saying Johnny Big Time was in here a little bit earlier. He's another person. I believe he's hosting me right now, actually. He's another person who I give a very, very strong recommendation for on Twitch. He's somebody who is utterly fearless in terms of the kinds of games that he plays. Like, he is really willing to play anything. All right, thank you very much, Octavian. It's a pleasure to have you in my place now, and I hope to get a chance to catch your sorry, I'm pushing the wrong buttons. I hope I do get a chance to catch your cast before I see you again here. But I wish you a very good evening. Ah, oh, crap. Duke'Mspute, thank you very much for that sub. That's 4 months in a row. I know you don't speak very much in chat, but I really appreciate that. And do let me know what you think of Soma if you play it. Yeah, so I lost all that medicine. I still died. Anyways, so Johnny Big Time is basically my top recommendation on Twitch. He's somebody who has got, like I said, is absolutely fearless in terms of the types of games that he plays. He's willing to try anything. And what I love, he's got a tremendous charisma. Like, he really has a great camera presence. He has got a very quick wit. It's a lot of fun to watch him trash talk a game. The other thing that's really good is I do find it quite difficult to find people to play games with. And maybe this is just because I am just a monster in the real world and people can't stand me. But Johnny's one of the few people who I get to play games on a semi-regular basis with. And it is, one, it's a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm not going to try that. Yeah, no worries, Capsuri. I'm actually going to wrap it up, seeing as this chest... I think I'm just going to take a look at the red chests in the area to see if I can unlock them, and then we'll call it for a night, so I don't think you'll be missing anything out. But I did want to take the time and give a proper shout out to Johnny, who was here earlier. He's definitely somebody who, like I said, is somebody who has a sense of humor to make any game that he's playing fun. He's really able to identify the things in games that are engaging. And one of the things, I'm actually a little sad that I didn't get to see him cast during E3, because last year he did these absolutely amazing takes on the different conferences that were going on. And what I loved is that he will tolerate no pretense. While everybody was busy just losing their minds over the Beyond Good and Evil 2 trailer, like, he was basically just saying, you know, is there a game associated with this really nice nice animated movie? I don't know, like, he did a wonderful job of just calling out some of the pageantry that we've come to expect from E3. And again, just because he has got an amazing sense of humor, and he's a ton of fun to sort of hang out with. I had a lot of fun watching E3 through Johnny Big Time. These are all great reasons to watch his channel. Like, he really is somebody who is something really special to watch. And he's one of the... I mean, it's one thing to... It is not very costly to follow someone. But I will definitely tell you that Johnny is worth the effort. Oh, I know that's a level 3 one, actually. I will tell you for certain that Johnny is someone who is absolutely worth hitting the follow button for, to take a quick look and see whether or not it's something you would like to keep watching. Like, he's somebody who I would strongly encourage you to put the follow in, because to be able to opt in to see when he is going live is worth that much. And again, like I said, I mean, there's a saying that goes around, and it was somebody who I got along with who said it, so I tried to avoid it, but when people say follows are free, I think it undervalues what that action is. To have somebody opt in and say, like, I would like another chance to see your stuff, does actually mean a lot. It may be that it's a, you know, a low cost action for you to do, but it's a very important one for casters, because it is a little bit of a sign of encouragement, and I don't know any casters who couldn't benefit from more encouragement, especially small ones like myself. But on top of that, it gives, like, every caster that you hit the follow button on is going to have another opportunity to entertain you. And sometimes that match won't work. Sometimes, you know, I know my stuff is not for everyone. But to have, you know, to have the option, to have the opportunity to you know, to put on a show for someone, does really mean a lot. So if there is one person who I can make that recommendation for, I would definitely say it's Johnny. And I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I did. Anyway, oh, looks like I got one more batch of criminals to deal with. Yeah, so we did a little bit more of the database entries rather than talk about the history of the French Revolution. We did make some more progress in the game. I don't know, like, I don't dislike the game. I am sort of realizing the limits of this title. So while I think the negative reputation is a little overdone, ooh, don't do that yet. I do also think that, like, I do sort of see where the game maybe didn't quite live up to its promise, but we're not over yet. What I'm probably going to do in this game is I'm going to fulfill some of the side missions, so I'm going to go through some of the Paris stories on my own and things like that. And when we come back, I'll most likely play this on a Friday, but we'll see what happens. And I will basically I'll do my best. At least on cast, I'll always do the main missions. If there's an interesting side mission, I'll try that as well. But we'll try and wrap this game up, and then we'll leave some options in terms of whatever the next Assassin's Creed will be. If this isn't your cup of tea, I totally get that, and I can say that for the next few days, on Monday we will be doing Stellaris. For Wednesday, we'll do Cultist Simulator. And the in-between stuff, anything along the lines of, you know, Offcast or something like that, our most likely candidates right now are Surviving Mars, Assassin's Creed Unity, and Battletech. But as always, if there's something that you'd like to see me do, it doesn't hurt to say. Even if I don't do it right away, I will, you know, I'll at least take the recommendation, and I'll see if there's something that I can sort of do in the halfway mark. Anyways, I'm quite tired, so I think I'm gonna call it for tonight. I more or less hit close to what my goal was gonna be. Thank you for the resubs. Thank you for the follows. I hope you guys who enjoy. I hope those of you who got some keys enjoy them. I hope some of you, if you check out the GOG site, that you find something good if you want. And I will see you next time. Let's find somebody to host. You know what? I really like Kilgore Trout. He is currently playing Star Trek Elite Force 2. So I will leave you in his very capable hands. If you would like to come along on the raid, our raid message, we're tired of System Talker, this place was better. Kilgore is somebody who knows me relatively well. He's another caster on the GOG, well, he's a caster on the GOG stream team. And GOG does occasionally have me on for Cultist Simulator and other things. Yeah, Kilgore's a really fun guy, and he really does a good job with the Star Trek game. So I do encourage you guys to stop by, whether you use the raid message or not. So I will leave you in his capable hands, and we'll see you guys on Monday at the latest.